Welcome to After Dark at the Fixed Ops Roundtable, featuring Katrina Ness, Vanessa Collins, and Ted Ings. This episode is brought to you by BG Products, partners beyond products. And now for your hosts, Ted Ings, Vanessa Collins, and Katrina Ness.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable's After Dark show. Today, we have a very special guest, Fixed Operations Director, Jeremy Stevens.
Hey, everybody.
Jeremy, welcome. So, Vanessa, thank you. Katrina, thank you as well. Jeremy Stevens, everybody from Bozard Ford Lincoln is with us. He's in charge of the remote experiences at Bozard. And Jeremy, one of the things I think we've learned in the last few minutes is that if you and I ever get lost, okay, on the road somewhere, don't ask me for directions, right? Because so thank goodness we have Vanessa and Katrina, right?
That's right. I was supporting you, though. I was in the room with you, in the wrong room.
So it all worked out, and we're going to talk a lot about Jeremy tonight, everybody. Thank you for joining us. And Vanessa, we're live tonight, right?
We are live, so make sure to leave comments and interact and everything as we get them live as well.
Okay, so last year for the 80s show that we did in May, Jeremy got all dressed up, and he was kind of new to the roundtable back then. And Jeremy, we have a similar theme this year. It's the 90s theme. And Vanessa, do you want to tell us when that is? Because that's coming up real fast.
Absolutely. So our next event, the 90s Rewind, is happening May 13th through the 16th. As always, it's 4 days and completely online, virtual. And you can get your complimentary tickets right now at fixedopsroundtable.com. Make sure to get them sooner rather than later because we are doing a very exciting giveaway. More details about that to come.
Yep. And you got some trivia for us tonight, right? Some 90s stuff?
Yes, I do. Yeah. So with this theme, every single After Dark show for the last 6 to 7 minutes, we've been doing trivia. So make sure to stay till the end for that.
All right. And Katrina, last year, Jeremy wasn't quite the star he is today, but he's in real big demand. Okay, I see him speaking at conferences, Katrina, everywhere, and I guess we're going to get a chance to learn a lot about him tonight. Tony Owens, good evening, and welcome to us. So, welcome to the After Dark show. So, Jeremy, last year you were not working at Bozard; you were up in North Carolina. Tell us a little bit about that journey because a lot of things have happened in the last year.
It definitely, got real fast there for a little bit. I love being in North Carolina. That was I was born and raised in the same town my whole entire life. So I never really roamed around. I just kind of stayed in the same place. And I was at my previous company for, going on 20 years. And I just felt like those, I needed something different, a new adventure basically. And I found one in Florida. So happened real fast, kind of warp speed on that part of it. A lot of scariness. It's easy to talk about making a big move until you actually had to do it. It's easy for me to tell people to do stuff. And then when it comes in your lap, it's like, oh, this is pretty big. I'm going to pack up and move everything down to Florida. But it's been a great adventure. It actually was a rough adventure because like a couple of days before, like both my boys' cars broke down. It just, I had to tow one of them to Florida. So it was a pretty cool adventure looking back, but it was worth it.
I bet it was. Tony Owens in the chat. I see Sean Kingry here as well. He's talking about that B-top. We all learned what B-top meant last week. Jeremy, did you know about B-top before you got there?
I didn't know until I got there, and it happened on my new hire orientation when Ed was talking about the best team on the planet and stuff, and everybody's bought into it there. When you talk B-top there and you see everybody has their little pins on and, it's everybody's going after the same goal.
What a great organization. And again, you and Ed and our friend Jeff King and a lot of the folks there, we spent a lot of time at Bozard, and it is the best team. And it's a culture like nobody else has, Jeremy. So
it definitely is. And one thing going in there, you heard about all this great things, but you're always hesitant. It's like, okay, is it this way? And it absolutely is. It starts at the very top, and with the Bozards, and they're fabulous. They're great to work with, and it starts there, and it just goes all the way down.
So, Katrina, I know you and Vanessa have a lot of questions. And let me just say, Katrina, before you get rolling, is that there are a lot of dealerships that you'll hear in your career that are, the best or unbelievable and wonderful. And you get there and you find out they're not quite as wonderful maybe as all the hype. But Bozard is the exception, Katrina. And they truly are amazing with their culture and their career path and everything about them. So I'll let you get right into it tonight.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, we've heard a lot about Bozard here on the Fixed Ops Roundtable because they are great friends of us, and we're happy to have you, Jeremy. So I have a question. You were a Fixed Op director at 6 locations, and then you switched to do remote service just for one store. So what kind of made you take the switch?
So a couple of things, like I was talking about earlier, there's a point in your life where you feel like you just need a change. You're comfortable, and that's where I was. I was comfortable in the spot I was at, and I was, we were doing great, but there was just something pulling on me that I needed something a little different. And I was looking for some other opportunities, and I got connected with Ed, and he threw this out at me, and I was like, I don't know if I want to do remote services. Just that question is like, okay, what is this? But then when you really started thinking about it, it's what the customer wants. We've been forcing our customers in this business model that they've been screaming for years that they don't really want to come to the dealership. So what we do, kind of our job, is to keep them away from the dealership, and we'll go to wherever they are and just, really, really create a customer experience that's really second to none on that. And we have some great technicians that the customers absolutely love. And it's been a great journey so far, and we're just getting started too.
That's awesome. So
and that remote services includes mobile, right? Under the remote umbrella.
Yes, it does. There's a lot underneath the remote umbrella. There's towing, there's pickup and delivery, so it's a little bit more than just a mobile service.
Okay.
Wonderful.
And that team right there, right now we have 27 technicians right now. And that picture was probably taken in December, I believe. So we have grown since then from that picture.
Awesome. Well, that leads us, I guess, to our next question, which is why mobile service?
Well, just because it's something new, and a lot of people really don't believe in it. So I know a lot of people have like 1 or 2 trucks, and, we're going all in with it, to see how far we can grow. And part of one of the other reasons is our shop is beyond capacity. A lot of dealerships are weeks behind. And when you comb through that appointment list, probably 20 or 30% of it, there's some stuff you can do mobily, like trim pieces and recalls. And why give that to a technician that you need them to rebuild transmissions and do these big jobs? And this always happens, because when I was a tech, it always happened. Service advisor comes kind of in there. It's like, hey, could you please stop what you're doing and do this little 2/10 recall or something like that? And kind of just ruins your flow of a bigger job that you needed to get done. So we're taking, and that's the cool thing about the mobile, we can take that away from these technicians that we really need them to do these big jobs and keep the shop efficiency rolling.
Awesome.
That is true.
Yeah. So from that, what are the benefits of mobile service? You kind of went into it a little bit just now, but what are greater benefits from a customer side? And then also, what does it open up from the dealership perspective? Why is it beneficial for a dealership to have mobile service?
So from the customer side, it's just, we go to them. So it's not hassle. A lot of times we got to look at through the customer lens. Like if I ask anybody outside my little circle, like my cousin or uncle, to go to a dealership, he's not going to know where to go to. He's going to have to plan his day. And if you got kids, you got to rearrange your whole entire day. And then you hope you get your car back in a timely manner. But with the mobile stuff, when we go to their house, most of the time they are happy. They're not upset while they walk in the door because you're coming to them. They can sit there and watch TV while we work on their car. So it's been, as far as customer feedback, we get a lot of positive CSI reviews from our mobile team. And it's pretty cool to listen to them because, our service managers, CSI creates a lot of anxiety because it's like you just don't know what you're going to get. But with mobile service, it's every day that a customer will call out one of our technicians into the comments and stuff like that. So it's very good from the customer side.
And how many dealerships kind of have this implemented? Like, is this a very common thing that we see in the industry, or is this something that's on the rise? Or
I know Ford, they have been. I'm not real sure how many are bought into it. It seems like the ones that are around us, they probably have one or two vans. There's only a couple of them I know that has double digits vans. So I'm not, out of all the Ford dealerships, I'm not real sure how many are doing mobile service.
It is growing, though, I will say, Jeremy, and
Yes.
It's growing even at your place in leaps and bounds. I see.
Yep. It's definitely, as we're averaging, we're adding 3 vans a month to our fleet. So, we have a group of guys that are training. Then we got another group of guys that's in another part of the dealership training also. So we're funneling them pretty fast. And we have some senior guys that we pair them with our senior guys on their trucks. So they do kind of the final inspection to make sure, that we're good in front of customers, that we know how to do a good quality job and all that stuff. So the training process, it usually lasts about 4 to 6 weeks, but it's moving. Definitely. A lot of technicians like doing this.
You got a big fan here in Sean Butler, who's on with us tonight. And Sean, we saw Lily run yesterday in the charitable run. So good for her. And thank you for being here. And, Jeremy, the work you're doing, I was there. It'll be a year in May. And at the time you had 10 mobile units, and we actually pulled one of the mobile units into the showroom there at Bozard Ford and did our pop-up event right in front of it. And we had the crew, okay, the people who are in charge of, not just doing the work, but setting it up and getting everything scheduled. And now you told me in the green room, they're not all in use yet, but you've got a lot of units on the ground. Tell us about that, if you don't mind.
Yeah, so we have probably 40 units on the ground. So we're definitely we're bought into it 100%. So we got some targets, we got some big goals that we're going to hit, and right now we doubled our support staff. Like I said, we've already doubled our technician team. We a lot of our seasoned guys have become trainers for us to help us grow the next mobile techs. So it's definitely moving in the right direction. And what's cool about it is the sales absolutely loves it. Someone on the mobile team suggested, let's do a demonstration with the Lincoln sales guys. So they went, and the Lincoln guys was timing them while they did it. They did it right there in front of the dealership. So it really helped the sales understand what mobile service and what they can do. And then, we had to do one for the Ford guys also. So they did that demonstration for the sales, just so they understand what it's about and what it entails. And it's definitely, I love having the full support of the whole entire dealership on this mobile service.
Tell us about this picture, because I recognize Crystal there on the left, and a lot of your colleagues at Bozard. As I recall, this is a room upstairs where you shatter records, okay? And you do that frequently. And I see the gentleman in the middle is holding a record right next to you. Tell us the story behind this photo.
So this is where we broke a total fix record. So we got 2 parts guys there, and the fixed ops director, and the service managers, and the quick lane manager. And I love doing this. This is, there's so much hype in the room when we get to break the old record, and then we get to put the new one back on the wall. So this was the second time we broke the total fix record since I've been there.
And you actually break a record, okay? I mean, that's part of the whole deal,
Yeah, you can see the shrapnel all on the ground, where we broke a lot that month.
Now, the gentleman on the right, all the way on the right, he's the quick lane manager. Is that right?
Yep. Yeah, that's James. He's our quick lane manager. And he, let me tell you, he does a fabulous job recruiting young technicians.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel bad because I think we probably stole 4 from him last month. So he does a fabulous job growing these guys and getting them ready to be technicians. And then Crystal Teams takes over a lot of them too. And the tech development program, they put them through that course, and we come out with great technicians through this program.
Who's the gentleman in between you and the quick lane manager on the right there, second from the right?
That is John Douglas. He's one of our service managers.
Okay. I remember John was on the team. I see your fixed ops director as well. And, Crystal all the way over on the left, she's amazing because she does so much at the dealership.
Yeah, she has definitely got me up to speed when I got there. She was my rock. So anytime I had questions or stuff, she definitely helped me get a jump start. Because her and the team, they kind of created it from nothing. So I kind of got, she did a lot of groundwork. So I kind of got to reap, her harvest basically.
Tony Owens is texting me. Tony, we can see you in the chat, and
hey Tony,
he's getting a little nervous that we're not bringing the chat in quick enough.
Funny. I'm curious, Jeremy. Are there any customers that you've gotten like a sense of not necessarily backlash, but they want to go into the dealership and get their car serviced versus have it done at home? Is there any like preference that you've seen from that?
There is. There's some of them that we can't work on their car in their driveway or their business, and you got some of them they're still kind of new, so they're hesitant about it, and and we give them that choice. It's like we can still schedule them in the main shop, and sometimes we'll go to their house, and it may be a little bit more involved than we can do, and we have to schedule it into the shop also. But it kind of gives that customer a peace of mind that we've gone out and at least try to check it out before we did that. Because a lot of times we, if we sell, it happens sometimes when you sell a new car and something happens a day or a week afterwards, we have the ability to come that next day and check that car out. Sometimes we can fix it right on the spot, and sometimes we can't. But at least from the customer side, it's like, man, that's pretty good service. It's like I just bought this car and you brought a guy up there to help me see if we can fix it.
Yeah.
Talk to us about customer satisfaction. Once they get a mobile service in their driveway, you come to the home, you do it at work. Do customers want to have the mobile service again in the future, or do they prefer to come back to the store? Give us some insights on there.
They kind of get addicted to the mobile service. So I walked in to get my eyes checked because I'm at that stinking age now where I have to wear glasses sometimes, and I left my name tag on, and she said, "Oh, you work at Bozard?" I said, "Yes." It's like, "I love your mobile service." I was like, "Oh, that's awesome." And then another lady said the same thing. So it's definitely great to hear that feedback. And just a while ago before I got on, there was a Facebook post by a customer that was, praising the guys from Saturday service. We were working on their car, and the customer took a picture of it.
And the shop is not small. Tell us how many bays, how many techs, because that's a big, beautiful, it's several shops. It's not just one.
It is. It's, I think we have, I was looking at the report. It's well over 100 technicians. I want to say it was 121 technicians that we have. So we had the Lincoln shop, the Ford shop, our tech development and fleet shop, and our quick lane. And now, mobile trucks. So that's like a dealership service on wheels.
That's awesome.
Where does this go, Jeremy? Where do you go? I mean, Ed just he's taking it on more and more, and adding you to the team, and then your leadership. What's next? I mean, 40 trucks. Where's this going to go?
We're just going to go down, see how far we can go with it. Because right now we're still not, meeting our customers' expectations. We still have a waiting list to get into the main shop, and there's so much opportunity out there. We're just scratching at the surface of it now. So it's pretty cool I was telling Ed and the team, it's like, hey, this mobile service, it evolves every 4 hours. It's like a little timer. Every 4 hours, something changes, and it's like a little bell goes off. It's like, oh shoot, we can't do that, or we can do that. So it's pretty cool to kind of adapt to everything.
Yeah, Mark Mickens is in the chat tonight, and Mark's pretty big on the mobile service too up here in New Jersey. And Mark, you've continued to do a great job. You and Jeremy and Jim Sabino and Ed Roberts leading the way, Mark, in this new era of mobile service. And Jeremy, you've also got a leadership background. You're a John Maxwell certified trainer, I believe. I see you do events with John Maxwell. Tell us a little bit about that, because I think that was part of the lure that attracted Ed to you as well.
So a long time ago, because I was a technician on a Friday and I was a manager on Monday, and I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I messed up a lot of stuff, and I discovered these John Maxwell tapes in this old closet at the dealership, and I couldn't listen to them, so I checked them out on YouTube, and just something that I felt like I connected. His style of leadership was something I wanted to do. And I just got involved in it, and I went to a event in Atlanta, Georgia, and I just got surrounded with all these people, like-minded people in leadership wanting to grow. And at that point, I really wanted to, study a little bit more. So I signed up to be one of his coaches, and kind of went to another event where we were in the same room with John Maxwell, and he just kept training, and it's just like this leadership journey that never ends. So, right now I have a partner back in North Carolina. She's a John Maxwell coach. So we do what we call Live to Lead events. So we do them, through October through February. So we just get people together, and we rent a room out in a country club, and we have people sign up, and we just talk leadership and try to add value to people.
That's amazing.
That fits into the Bozard culture, doesn't it?
It does. It's almost like if I knew Ford and their DMS, I could have just plugged and play, because our values were aligned, how they treat people were aligned. It was great.
I like it.
Cool.
There's Robert. Grow big. I like it. Robert's doing a fabulous job.
Yeah, Robert's doing an amazing job, right? He's a rock star himself, right? And I see others on here commenting as well, because you have become one in your own right also. I noticed that Mrs. Stevens, your wife, is not in the chat tonight. Normally I would expect her. She's very active on social. But tell us a little bit about Mrs. Stevens and what she does, and where she may be while you're live with us tonight.
So my wife, Michelle, has done a fabulous job. As y'all know, I have 5 boys, and she's homeschooled 4 out of 5. And we graduated our twins, our youngest ones, about a year or so ago, and she wanted to have her own career, so she decided to be a travel advisor, and she absolutely loves it. She's very good at it. So now she's out traveling the world. She was in Europe on river cruises, checking out different river cruises, and then after that, she took a trip to Japan and visit one of our other sons that lives in Japan. So now she's in Japan.
Right now.
Right now. Yep. It is. Yep. It's 9:25 in the morning there.
What brought your son to Japan?
So he was always interested in the Japanese culture, and he started studying the language, and he found this language school that he could study language in Japan. So,
wow.
So we took a step to Florida, and then he took a giant leap to Japan. So it was pretty cool, 19 wanting to do that. Yeah. And I was talking to Michelle, and being submerged in the culture, he can speak, pretty good, where he could communicate with all the locals there. So she said it was just great seeing them to communicate in that way.
That's awesome.
That's phenomenal. Good for him.
Great country and a lot there. And, I had a chance to see Kyoto, as well firsthand. So you're getting out on your way out into the country when you go to Kyoto. So,
wow.
So fascinating stuff. Jeremy, a lot happening in our industry. Mobile service continues to grow. I know Ford is very much promoting it with their Ford Pro program and these commercial vehicle centers. That you're leading the way in that, and you're actually a role model. And when people we hear about Bozard and Ed, and now people are saying Jeremy Stevens as part of that. So that goes a long way. And
yeah, it puts a lot of pressure on me, Ted. Now that you said it that way, I don't want to mess up Ted and Bozard now.
All right. So Vanessa, we have some trivia tonight with some 90s superstars.
We do. We have 4 90s superstars to play trivia on. Like always, I will bring up the photo and you just have to leave your guesses in the comments. They will come in live. And let's see if we can guess who these 90s stars are, starting with our first one.
Okay. Oh, wow. This is a fixed ops director in retail. He's on the East Coast. Jeremy, also North Carolina boy. This is right here. Okay. He's in North Carolina today. Yeah. And he does a great job. He's active on the round table. Another up and coming superstar. And best we could get was a black and white picture. But if you have any thoughts, everybody, this gentleman also hosted a pop-up event with the Fixed Ops Roundtable last fall at his dealerships.
Richard from Apple Honda.
That is correct. That is Richard Lupo from Apple Tree Honda and Acura. So yeah.
Good job, Jeremy.
At that.
I get a point.
All right. 2 of 4. Here we go. Who is this 90s star?
Can I say? I know who that is.
Oh, you do? Jeez.
He was in the chat earlier, wasn't he?
Gentleman's very active in the roundtable. I saw him in the chat earlier tonight. And his better half was on here as well. And another superstar in the making. So in his own right. He looks very serious, right, Tony?
Kathy said she might know him. Okay. And Robert, you got that right.
Sean Kingery.
Yep. Sean Kingery.
Look at him.
All right. 3 of 4. Here
guys
we
are
go.
making it easy tonight. Yeah.
She is very involved with the Fixed Ops Roundtable.
She is. This is not Sarah Van Tyne, by the way. Okay, so I'll eliminate that.
She's very creative.
Has a flair for marketing and themes. Very successul ones. Yeah.
Robert is on a he is on a roll. And Kathy got it right too.
Yeah. Okay.
Awesome, you guys. We are on a roll today.
Michelle McLean, you guys are good tonight. We got one more, right?
Yes, we do have one more. Saving this one for last.
Okay.
Here we go. This person looks scared a little.
Anyone recognize this this up and coming fixed op superstar?
The Pac-Man shirt. I love it.
It's very
that's
nice.
gotta be vintage.
That is so nice. I love it. Great haircut.
Yeah, my mom cut our brothers. That's when you got the mom haircut back in that day. Just cut your bangs.
The bowl cut.
The bowl cut.
The bowl cut. No. Jeremy, you do look serious here.
Yeah. That's probably because I didn't want my picture taken, probably.
I bet.
Okay. Robert, you're welcome to send in another 90s picture. Absolutely. We have several people who've submitted multiple. So we had some oldies but goodies here tonight. So
yeah. Well, that was fun and easy, and it was 4 for 4. So we killed it.
How often do we get that? Not too often, right?
Not too often. That might be the first time we got all of them. First try.
Okay. So
Wonderful.
well, great to see everybody. And Katrina, good to have you back in Michigan, I guess, right?
Yes. Quick trip to Maryland this weekend, but I'm back in my vintage 90s room.
Love it.
All right. Well, Jeremy, thank you for for being our guest tonight.
Oh, thank you for having me. It was fun.
That is fun. A lot of love in the chat for you and for the great work that you're doing in our industry. So
It was so nice to finally meet you.
Yeah, it was nice to meet y'all too. And thank you everybody in the chat.
And Katrina, tell us one more time, when is the next event coming up, if you don't mind?
Of course. So you can get your complimentary tickets now for our next event happening May 13th through the 16th. Get your tickets at fixopsroundtable.com. Like Vanessa said, we are doing a giveaway. So make sure you get your complimentary tickets as soon as possible so you can be entered in that, and we will see you there.
All right. Fantastic work, everybody. We'll be back. And Tony Owens, great show tonight. You as well. And good to see you in the chat, Tony, and see you active, okay, as well. We'll be back on Wednesday night with another show here on After Dark at the Fixed Ops Roundtable. On behalf of Jeremy, Vanessa, and Katrina, I'm Ted Ings, and thanks for being here tonight.